Welcome, welcome everyone. Jaclyn and Thomas are ecstatic that you are here to support them and to encourage them and to celebrate with them. If you would be so kind as to take a minute, and then please sit back and enjoy this celebration of love.
Okay.
Welcome to the best seat in the house, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, thanks. It's Johnny.
He's not sure about this.
Hey. Come on, Henry. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Hey.
Oh, nice
Thanks,
job.
man.
Oh, wow.
He's good. He's good.
Won't you all please rise and welcome the bride? Well, welcome. We are gathered here today to celebrate one of life's greatest moments, to give recognition and worth to the beauty of love, and to add our best wishes to the words that Jaclyn and Thomas have chosen to unite them. The union of is intended by God for their mutual joy and for the help and comfort given one another in prosperity and adversity. Therefore, marriage is not to be entered into unadvisedly or lightly, but reverently, deliberately, and in accordance with the purposes for which it was instituted by God. And so today is the chosen day for us to celebrate the union of Jaclyn Patricia McDonald and Thomas Eugene Hatakeyama in marriage. I invite you all to feel perfectly free to smile and to laugh and to enjoy the pleasure and the privilege that we have today to witness this wonderful celebration of love. My duty requires me to ask a very important question. Who supports this woman to marry this man?
We do.
We do.
Wonderful. You may hug and kiss. It's okay. There you go. Come this way, Dad. Can you come this way, Dad? There you go. Shake his hand.
All right.
Go ahead and put her.
Good luck. Take care of her.
No, well.
Right this way, Dad. There you go. Wonderful. These are great. Right there. You can face me. You go. Wonderful. Well, Thomas and Jaclyn, as we worked on the details for this day, this great day, you told me that we'd have a wonderful and very special group of people here to celebrate with you. And because you have such good friends here and so many family members who so desperately want to sit down, I have an important question to ask each one of them in attendance today. Do you, as parents, family members, and friends, give your blessing and support for Jaclyn and Thomas to be joined together in marriage? If so, please respond together with a very warm, "We do!" We do! That was so warm. You may all please take your seats. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, he's a mess. Well, Jaclyn and Thomas, I know that you really appreciate having your family and friends here to celebrate with you, and some very special people standing up here in support of you, your bridesmaids and your groomsmen. Jaclyn, your maid of honor, your sister, Jillian, your matron of honor and best friend, Jessica, and your bridesmaids, your soon-to-be sister-in-law, Marissa, and your cousins, Stephanie and Kendra. We see you over there, Kendra. And Thomas, your best man and best friend, Ryan, and your groomsmen, your friend Neil, your brother-in-law, Johnny, and your friends, Hui and Eric. You clean up pretty well, Eric. Nice job. Each one is really special to you, I know, with a lot of great memories together and many more to come, I'm sure. Well, Thomas and Jaclyn, you've chosen at this time to acknowledge your loved ones who are no longer with us, but live on in your hearts. Jaclyn, you remember James and Patricia Jock, your grandparents, and also your grandparents John and Jean McDonald, your great uncle Mickey Dvorak, and your uncle Frank Jock. And Thomas, you remember your grandparents Kanzo, Toshiko, Hatakayama, and
You got it.
Thomas and Doris Buckley, and of course your aunts Maureen Leone and Ruriko Kobayashi. May their legacy of love live on through you as you remember them today and always. You've also both expressed just how truly blessed you are to have such wonderful parents, and how you admire and respect them for all the many years that they have been married to each other. Jaclyn, your parents, Jack and Linda, who have been married for 34 years, and Thomas, your parents, Terry and Julie, who have been married for 35 years. Now, I know it's not a competition, but can we all acknowledge their combined 69 years of marriage? Congratulations. Their commitment to each other is an inspiration to you as you begin the rest of your lives together. Jaclyn and Thomas have chosen a reading that shapes the feelings that they share about love. For our first reading, they have asked Justin, brother of the bride, to come and read a selection from The House at Pooh Corner by A.A. Milne. Nice and loud, my friend.
Okay. Okay. The House at Pooh Corner. Piglet sidled up to Pooh from behind. "Pooh," he whispered. "Yes, Piglet." "Nothing, Piglet," taking Pooh's hand. "I just wanted to be sure of you. That we'll be friends forever, won't we, Pooh?" asked Piglet. "Even longer," Pooh answered. "If ever there is a tomorrow we'll be together, there is something that you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But most importantly of all, even if we're apart, I'll always be there with you."
Thank you very much, Justin. Now, I know that both of you would love to honor your mothers with flowers, and so you may honor them at this time. You can go together.
Go that way.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today to celebrate the love that Thomas and Jaclyn have for each other. What do we mean by love? Well, to love is to enter a whole new world, a world of togetherness, a world of sharing all that's dearest and deepest within your hearts. To love is to remember to keep alive forever all those unique qualities that first drew you to one another in the beginning. Remember way back then? And to love is to come together from the pathways of your past and then move forward, hand in hand, along the uncharted roads of your future, ready to risk and to dream and to dare, and to always believe that all things are possible when you have faith in God and love for each other. It's a bit like writing a blank check, isn't it, Thomas? You're here to say to each other, I don't know what lies on the road ahead, but I want to take that journey with you. That's a powerful thing to say to another person. To make your marriage work, it will take love. Love should be the very core of your marriage. Love is the reason that you are here. In fact, Thomas and Jaclyn, the commitment of marriage is one of the most important decisions that you'll ever make in your life. The vow of marriage is a pledge to each other of a lifetime of love. And you're committing to share all that life has to offer, the good times and the bad, with patience and understanding. And for your marriage to remain strong, the trials and tribulations of everyday life, even in COVID season, must not shake your faith in each other. But beyond the love and the respect that you share, there must be a strong sense of commitment and loyalty and a willingness to understand and accept each other's strengths and weaknesses. You must have an openness and a willingness to communicate with each other, to be great friends who really like each other as well as love each other. Would you please turn and face each other? And Thomas, please take both of Jaclyn's hands in yours. I have a story to tell. So, how did their love story begin? Well, it was August of 2013, so buckle up. They met where all young couples in love should meet, in dental school. It was their first day of orientation. They were instructed to break up into small groups for an icebreaker. The icebreaker posed a hypothetical question whereby their imaginary best friend Sam knew that they were starting dental school and suddenly wanted to apply to dental school as well. Their group orientation task was to share potential questions for their fake friend Sam. The other group members asked about shadowing hours, his grades, if Sam wanted to specialize. All Jaclyn wanted to ask was, what the heck, Sam? Where's this coming from? But she felt it wasn't very professional, so she stayed quiet. No sooner did she think that when Thomas spoke up and offered this question, what the heck, Sam? Where's all this coming from? The others in the group were indifferent to his suggestion until Jaclyn spoke up and defended Thomas's question, until the group agreed that Sam wanted to be a dentist out of the blue, and it was weird. Well, through that, a connection was made. And later that night, they all went to an event at Miller's Ale House in Downers Grove. That's where Thomas took the opportunity to thank her for having his back at orientation. As they talked, they learned that they both went to Marquette for their undergrad, but just had never crossed paths. She thought he was really cute and smart and muscly and needed a haircut.
I don't think that anymore.
She's changed her mind. He also thought that she was cute and friendly, focused, smart, independent, and pretty intimidating if she disagreed with something. He liked that she was always smiling, and she laughed at all his jokes. He made sure to get her number as everyone was exchanging info so that he could hide the fact that he was immediately interested. However, At orientation and all the events after that, they seemed to get stuck in different groups. One night, they went to an event at Bar Louie in Naperville. They were sitting at tables on opposite sides of the bar, and he kept looking over for an opportunity to talk to her again. It was excruciating to him as he saw her from a distance talking and laughing with other people. But later that night, as he was dancing on the dance floor with a few other girls, it has a happy ending. He got a glimpse of how strong-willed she is. She actually swooped in, stole him from both of them, and staked her claim. She can be unpredictable like that, and always keeps him on his toes. Thanks to some liquid courage, they may have even shared their first steamy kiss that night. Right, Hui? You'll have to ask him later. After that, they began sitting next to each other in lecture class and then studying together. He was, and still is, very calm and patient. She noticed his calming effect on her right away. He just knew what to say to keep her from freaking out as it related to an upcoming test. And he would stop studying and take as much time as needed to explain something to her if she was just too overwhelmed to understand. Sometimes they would flirt and get some really good studying done. Mostly because they were trying to show how smart and responsible they both were. And after one study session, she walked him out of her condo and he asked if he could kiss her again. She obliged, and he floated back to his car with a big smile on his face. Over time, they realized how goofy and weird they both are in really similar ways, and yet they accepted each other for who they were. Family means a lot to her, so he would drive out to her parents' house if she was spending time with her family that weekend. She admittedly has really quirky hobbies. He didn't even blink when she revealed just how obsessed she was with the TV show Chopped. Or that she was only 22 years old and really into grandmotherly hobbies, like gardening, and knitting, and reading, and cross-stitch. She's an 80-year-old trapped in a 22-year-old's body. And she stress bakes. But seriously, starting dental school was initially quite difficult and depressing for her. One night she bared her soul to Thomas, and he didn't run away. In fact, the very next day, he secretly dropped off her favorite candy to help lift her spirits and gave her the space she needed to work out her emotions. It really was an amazing feeling to find someone who liked her for her, and quite the green light for her to move forward with him in her life. But so far, all their dating interaction was in groups. In October of 2013, they finally went on a proper first date, just the two of them, to Sushi House in Wheaton. He was so excited to share some of his favorite foods with her, and that she was open to trying new things. They really had a great time talking and spending time together outside of studying and school. They officially became a couple that month on October 11th, 2013. They had taken a nap before going out to party that night. Kind of sounds like college. You know, something a 22-year-old grandmother brings to the relationship.
Yeah.
Well, before they left for the party, he told her he didn't want to share her with anyone else. She said she felt the same way. While at the party, they awkwardly introduced themselves as boyfriend and girlfriend to their friends before they all decided to go out to a casino. At that moment, he realized that he left his wallet at home. Jaclyn said no problem and accompanied him back home to get it.
Okay.
After he did, they rejoined their friends back at the party who were eager to finally head out to the casino. And that's when Jaclyn finally realized that she also left her wallet at home too. It was there the whole time. All their friends were like, "What?" They laughed it off. And as they drove back home with their friends went to the casino, and they had a terrible time without them. At that point, they knew this relationship had some serious potential. They could not believe how perfect they were for each other, and they've been ditching social events together ever since. How did Thomas propose to Jaclyn, you might wonder? Well, it was August 25th of 2019. They had just moved into their first and current home. It went really smoothly. Weeks earlier, Jaclyn had requested to celebrate her birthday on their move-in day with a romantic candlelit dinner in the sunroom of their new home. Little did she know, she was setting him up for a slam dunk proposal. It was the perfect cover for his yet-to-be-formed engagement plan. They ordered Chinese food, and she decided to freshen up before dinner. That gave him just enough time to sneak the ring with the ring box out from his backpack and place it in a shadowy corner of the sunroom. Before dinner, Jaclyn decided she wanted to take some photos together. He gladly agreed, so they took a few timed photos. And when she went to put away the phone, he said, "You might want to wait on that." With his heart beating way too fast, he walked over to get the ring, and on his way back to her with the ring box, she screamed, "What the F," over and over again. He knelt down on one knee and asked her to marry him. He kind of blacked out and he wasn't sure if she said yes or not. So after they hugged and kissed, he asked her again just to make sure. They then called their friend Jess to tell her the good news, and Jess and her fiance Mark immediately came over to celebrate with them. When Mark walked in, he picked up Thomas, twirled him around, and they both joyfully shouted, "Fiancés!" It was a good day. They all then contacted friends and family with the good news until about 1 a.m. Everyone was so happy for them, just as we are now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, leads us to today. So what is it that Jaclyn especially loves and appreciates about Thomas? She loves that they can be complete weirdos around one another and have the greatest time. She knows she can tell Thomas anything and not feel judged. She loves how comfortable he makes her feel, which has allowed her to come out of her shell. He encourages her to speak up and be confident enough to voice her opinion and even order food over the phone. She appreciates the effort and loves he gives her family and friends because he knows how much they mean to her. What is it that Thomas especially loves and appreciates about Jaclyn? If you haven't guessed already, they don't know what they said about each other until this moment. That's why he's a mess. He loves how understanding Jaclyn is, that she is an amazing listener, and he always feels like he has her full and genuine attention. He loves how caring and considerate she is of everyone around her. She truly cares about the comfort and well-being of others. He loves how open she is to learn and to try new things, including traveling to new places and eating interesting foods. He loves how encouraging she is when he shares his ideas with her or wants to dive into new hobbies. And he loves how great she is at storytelling and how she still encourages him in telling his disorganized stories. It's beautiful. As for future plans, the couple will honeymoon stargazing in Michigan. Thanks, COVID. And as for future plans, they hope to travel all over the world together. They hope to work together in the same dental office.
Romantic.
And they also hope to have two little Hatakeyamas crawling around someday. That is not an announcement, by the way. That is simply a future hope. Thomas and Jaclyn, I challenge you
I see it.
to continue to love with the greatest kind of love that there is, unconditional love. It's easy to love someone who does nice things for you, like wiping the sweat off your brow. It's also pretty easy to love someone that you respect and admire. But there is something that goes far beyond the words, I love you if, or I love you because. Unconditional love says to the other person, I love you anyway, and I will love you always, no matter what. Now, this is the rarest love of all, and it certainly has the most risk. But no marriage can last without it. It should never be given lightly, but once given, it should never be withdrawn. Thomas and Jaclyn, unfortunately, neither of you are perfect. You will each make mistakes. But unconditional love says to the other person, I forgive you, I still love you, and I will stay with you the rest of my life. Thomas and Jaclyn, you've now chosen to exchange your wedding vows. You may do that at this time as best you can.
Yeah, perfect timing. Do you want to go first or me? Probably makes sense. Jaclyn, I promise to always embody the belief that love is not only something you feel, but also something you do. I will put in the work required for love and do my best to make you happy, unconditionally, yet knowing that you will do the same for me. I will always appreciate you. I will take you out on dates, especially once we have kids. I will support you at required social events, and even more when you decide to ditch them. I will watch TV with you. I will comfort you when you are sad. I will take care of you when you are sick. I will feed you when you are hangry. I will always be honest with you, even if it results in a difficult conversation. And I will be patient with you if you need to rage garden when I am too honest. I will always listen to you and reflect on your words. I will make time to hyper-focus on you. I will encourage you to trust your gut and to follow your dreams. I will make sure you always know how good you are. And I will always be your best friend.
Whew, okay. Thomas, you came into my life at exactly the right moment. Dental school. You've stuck by me through the best and worst, and loved me, and loved all that I am, even at my hangriest. You helped me be the finest version of me that I can. As your wife, I promise to make sure you are heard and understood. That you feel loved and safe. That you get layers in your black hair so it frames your face and everyone can see your beautiful eyes. That laughter will be commonplace in our house. I pledge to commit myself to our family and the good I know will grow from it. I pledge to always honor your passion for Barcelona soccer and even watch a few games with you. I will support your dreams and look forward to seeing what our future holds while we grow together. But most of all, I promise to be your true companion always. Thomas, I love you unconditionally and always will.
The bride and groom had provided rings to symbolize these vows. Thank you. Traditionally, the marking of the passage to the status of husband and wife is noted by the exchange of rings. These are powerful statements of love, a seal upon your wedding vows. Let them mark you as husband and wife, and wear them with joy, because they're gifts, as you are gifts to each other. Remember that tonight and tomorrow and next week and next month, through decade upon decade of celebration of life together. They're circular in shape, a symbol of permanence, completeness, wholeness, and fullness, a symbol of the unbroken circle of love. May these rings always remind you of the vows that you have just made. Thomas, please place this very small ring on Jaclyn's finger, and then repeat each phrase after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
I give it to you
I give it to you
as a symbol of our vows.
as a symbol of our
With
vows,
all that I am
with all that I am
and all that I have,
and all that I
I
have.
give myself to you.
I give myself to you.
Jaclyn, please place this ring on Thomas's finger, and then repeat each phrase after me. With this ring. Do we
With
need
this-
some butter?
Nope.
Okay.
Holding it there. With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
I give it to you
I give it to you
as a symbol of our vows.
as a symbol of our vows,
With all that I am
with all that I am
and all that I have,
and all that I have.
I give myself to you.
I give myself to you.
Well, family members and friends, you've just witnessed Thomas and Jaclyn exchange their vows and rings. Will you be responsible to help them fulfill their vows? When times are tough and you see one of them wavering, will you actively help them, not just with words, but to come alongside of them? On anniversaries, will you celebrate with them? Maybe not show up on their doorstep unannounced, but a text would be great. You're here today because you're important to Thomas and Jaclyn, and they invite you to be on this journey with them. If you will help them to stay married and to strengthen their marriage, please respond by shouting a resounding, "We will!" We will! I think they've got your back. Well, for our final reading, Jaclyn and Thomas have asked longtime family friend Emily Yu to come and read 2 quotes from Buddhist master Shinso Ito that reflect the commitment Thomas and Jaclyn have made to each other.
We endeavor to truly be mindful of how we can care for other people and consider carefully what we can do for them or how we can help them achieve true happiness. That is when we'll be inspired with wisdom. There may be limits to what one person can accomplish, but I believe that if we work together with others, making the most of each other's individuality, then we will be able to overcome our challenges, one by one. It may take time, but I believe that peace will be ours when we reach out to one another, starting with those closest to us, and appreciate the chain of life we are a part of.
Thank you, Emily. Thomas and Jaclyn are also starting a new Hatakeyama tradition on this, their special day. They have in front of them a wine box, and they have their favorite bottle of wine in it. They've also written love letters to each other, expressing their feelings as they begin their marriage and their dreams and goals for the future. They will now enclose their letters into the wine box. And on the happy occasion of each anniversary, they will open the box, read the love letters to each other, enjoy their favorite wine, and then replace those with 2 new love letters for their next anniversary and beyond. May you cherish your new tradition year after year. Now, before I pronounce you husband and wife, there's just one more thing that I want you to do. Your wedding day is one that seems to fly by. Do you feel that? It's a day filled with emotion, friends, rings, and dances. Many people remember how fleeting their own wedding day was. So I want you to take a few more seconds to look into each other's eyes and think about the happiness that you're feeling in this place, in this moment. Really let that feeling register in your heart and mind. And now I want you to think about your life together in 20 years. Where are you? What are you both doing? We all know that your visions of the future are not identical, but always complementary. Someone once said, a dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together, now that is reality. Well, that new reality starts now. Thomas and Jaclyn, you have vowed your vows, promised your promises, and exchanged your wedding rings. Therefore, in the presence of God and these witnesses, I now declare you to be husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no one separate. I now invite you both to seal this day with a kiss worthy of this great occasion. Thomas, you may kiss your bride. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as she receives back her flowers, it is now my privilege to present to all of you for the very first time, as they begin their new life as husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas and Jaclyn Hatakeyama!